smart? Think you're a genius? It's time to put your brain to the test. These aren't just any riddles. They're the kind that mess with your mind, challenge your logic, and expose how sharp you really are. Most people fail. Will you be one of the few who make it to the end? Get ready. Challenge starts now.
"100 Chests" is a puzzle game I just released. Here's a complete scene-by-scene breakdown of my favorite scene, which is the big reveal of how to win the game. So this is the first scene. We start with our player character in this dark castle corridor. It's very mysterious, a little bit scary. There's flickering torches everywhere. He walks forward and we have this giant treasure room door. We push in very slowly to reveal 100 wooden chests in perfect rows. And there's a couple effects I want to add here. So one is I want to flicker the light of these torches, because they actually made with a flame stock video. So if you watch closely, you can see the flame flickering. And what I did was just to copy that layer, change the blending mode to screen, and then set the opacity down. And then I just dragged that across all of the frames so that every time the light flickers, it would also flicker on the chests themselves. So just something to make the scene feel a little bit more alive. And I color graded this with a warm orange and deep shadows, because I wanted it to feel like this old medieval hallway, lit only by torches. Then we get our voiceover narration. In a kingdom of secrets, a single diamond lies hidden among 100 chests. But after each chest you open, a cunning servant moves it. 10 chances, no more. Fail and it is gone, forever. And we dissolve to the next scene. This one is more about showing the rules and restrictions of the game. So we have these close-ups of numbered chests. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 100. And then in the background, we have the shadow of the servant quickly darting between them. As he's moving the diamond from chest to chest, we have this giant hourglass in the background slowly filling up, letting the player know that time is running out. I also added clock ticking sound under the music to really sell this idea that time is ticking. I also put a light blur vignette to add a little bit of mystery to the scene. And then we have another part of the voiceover. The rules are cruel. The game is rigged. You may open 10 chests, but the diamond will always move, unless you find the secret path. Next, we have our hero sitting at a wooden table studying a drawing, trying to figure out the pattern to beat the game. And we have this quill pen scratching on a parchment, writing numbers from 1 to 100 in a loop. Very fast cuts between him thinking and the servant smirking in the shadows, hiding the diamond. I added a slight heartbeat bass in the music to show his tension and anxiety. Then we have some quick zoom-ins on the important parts of his drawing, the parts that will later reveal the solution to the puzzle. And again, more of the voiceover. Random searching means failure. Chasing the diamond means defeat. But a pattern exists. A cycle that forces the diamond into your hands. Then we dissolve to the next scene, and this is the big reveal. How do you win the game? And we have this animation of all 100 chests in a loop. And then we have a little red that moves from chest to chest. This is the servant moving the diamond. And then we have a marker following behind, trying to catch up to the diamond. Now, the trick to this animation is that the marker always starts in a random chest. And then the player has to use their deduction skills to figure out where the diamond is going to be. So, the servant moves one space, the marker moves one space, the servant moves one space, the marker moves one space, and then eventually they catch up to each other. And we've done this 10 times. So now, we just slowed down this movement to make it a little bit more epic. When they finally catch up to each other, we do this light burst effect. So basically, the player has figured out the pattern. All they have to do now is follow it. And then we have the final part of the voiceover. Number the chests from 1 to 100. Start at chest 1, then 2, then 3, in perfect order. No matter where it starts, the servant cannot outrun you. You will always catch it before the 10th move. We dissolve to the next scene, which is the victory scene. And we have our player character opening chest number 10. Slowly, the golden light spills out. The diamond sparkles. In the darkness, we have a close-up of the servant in the shadows looking shocked. Then we have that big orchestral hit and the final part of the voiceover. Step by step, the trick collapses. The diamond is yours. And we finish off with this glow effect around the diamond. And then finally, we have this last scene. It's kind of like a final piece of wisdom. The diamond is in your hand. You're holding it up, light reflecting in your eyes, and we fade to black. And the music is just this gentle piano and strings fading out. And the final part of the voiceover. Victory isn't about speed, it's about strategy. Think ahead, and no trick can defeat you. Thanks for watching. Welcome back. Are you ready for another mind-blowing journey? Today, we have something special for those who like their puzzles with a side of suspense. You'll need your wits and a keen eye for detail to navigate through this explosive situation. So put on your thinking caps because it's about to get real. We suggest using headphones for the full experience. Let's dive in. You defuse thousands of bombs, but which is the best? Well, here's one for you. First, find the sum of all natural numbers from 1 to 100. This is your bomb disposal code. Got your answer? Good. Now use it or face the consequences. Tick-tock. Effect. Deep suspense bass with ticking clock. Low tempo. As the timer ticks down, your heart pounds in your chest. The red numbers flash ominously. The wires seem to writhe like restless serpents, and the blinking lead casts a hypnotic glow on your face. You strain to make out the digits through the blood pounding in your veins. It's close up and personal with danger. Voiceover. A ticking bomb, 10 minutes to detonation. Your only hope, a single number. Get it right, you live. Get it wrong, you don't. Suddenly, a solution appears. The sum of all natural numbers from 1 to 100. Could that be the answer you're seeking? But wait, no calculators allowed. The pressure is immense. Can you perform this complex calculation mentally in the nick of time? Effect. Tense strings swelling in the background. Heartbeat. Effect increases in tempo every few seconds. Your eyes dart back and forth between the timer and the paper, desperately trying to keep track of the numbers. The room seems to spin around you, blurring the lines between past, present, and future. Time blurs into a meaningless background noise as you enter the numbers one by one, focusing on the task at hand. With each tick of the clock, your determination grows. Effect. A soft glockenspiel melody fades in. It's joined by the gentle strumming of acoustic guitar. Then it hits you. A wave of realization washes over you. Pairing the numbers from 1 to 100 could be the key. You quickly jot it down and start your calculation, racing against the relentless ticking of the clock. Effect. Light burst sound effect for each pair formed. Whoosh sound as the numbers multiply. As you continue your mental gymnastics, the numbers start falling into place. You can feel the bomb's energy building, urging you to hurry. But panic won't help now. Instead, you double your efforts, focusing intently on the task at hand. Finally, the answer emerges. 5050. You quickly punch in the code as the timer ticks down to the final seconds. Effect. Beep sound effect from keypad as the timer stops. As the timer stops and the numbers turn green, you let out a breath you didn't realize you were holding. It's done. You disarm the bomb. Effect. Gentle piano melody continues. As the dust settles, you take a moment to admire the beauty of the bomb you just defused. Every wire is in its place, every mechanism accounted for. It's a masterpiece of engineering, and your victory is complete. Voiceover. In the race against time, it's not about speed. It's about knowing the right shortcut. Effect. The piano melody fades into a gentle hum, leaving a sense of tranquility in its wake. So what did you think? How quickly did you figure out the code? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're still buzzing from this thrilling ride, we've got more challenges waiting in our latest video. Don't miss out. Click now and see you in the next one. Welcome to our channel where mind-bending riddles meet nail-biting mysteries. Today's puzzle is all about deciphering codes and solving for X, but be warned, this one has a twist that'll leave you scratching your head. Can you crack the case? Let's dive into the thrilling world of numbers and secret passageways. Our story begins in an old study room. Dust particles dance in the golden light streaming through the window. The camera slowly pans across antique books and furniture until it rests on an antique metal safe with a 3-digit lock. A beam of light from the window illuminates the keypad, casting dancing shadows on the wall. The scene is set with a close-up of the safe's glowing keypad, hinting at the mystery that lies within. Warm, dusty color grading envelops the screen, deepening the sense of intrigue. A genius father has recently passed away, leaving behind a fortune. His will is held in a digital safe. A cryptic device containing 3 numbers that, when entered correctly, unlocks the safe and the wealth. Only one person holds the key to the safe, the father's son. The catch: the son has no idea what these 3 numbers are. All he has is an old, tattered note left by his father, which contains some handwritten equations and statements. As the son begins to read the note, the visual focuses on the paper, slowly unfolding to reveal the message. We hear the sound of rustling paper. The handwriting is faded but decipherable. The second number is half the third. The first number is 3 times the second. And the sum of the 3 numbers is 14. With the riddle presented, the visual shifts to the safe's lock, emphasizing the ticking clock. Close up on the blinking red lock light, creating a sense of urgency. The son's face appears, etched with determination and anxiety. He's deep in thought, writing down equations in his notebook. The tempo increases, the ticking sound intensifies. The scene fades, transitioning to a montage of the son working tirelessly to solve the riddle. We see pages filled with calculations, the safe's keypad, and the son's determined face. The music builds, keeping us on the edge of our seats. Now, let's shift gears to a more relaxed pace. We're still in the same room, but the atmosphere has shifted. The ticking has stopped and there's a newfound sense of calm. The son sits quietly, seemingly lost in thought. But upon closer inspection, we see a slight smile playing on his lips. In his hand, he holds the solution to the puzzle. Let's break it down. The problem presents us with 3 unknowns, the first, second, and third numbers. We can represent these with variables. First equals X, second equals Y, third equals Z. Now, let's translate the word problem into a system of equations. From the first statement, the first number is 3 times the second. We get the equation X equals 3Y. The second statement, the second number is half the third. Gives us Y equals Z, 2. And finally, the sum of the three numbers is 14. So x plus y plus z equals 14. Our objective now is to find the values of x, y, and z that satisfy all three equations. This is a classic example of a system of equations. One way to solve this is using substitution. We already have x equals 3y from the first equation. So let's substitute 3y for x in the third equation. This gives us 3y plus z equals 14, simplifying further. For y plus z equals 14. Now we can use the second equation, y equals z, 2, to substitute z with 2y. This gives us for y plus to y equals 14, combining like terms, 6y equals 14, to isolate y. We divide both sides of the equation by 6, giving us y equals 14/6 or y equals to 0.33. With y solved, we can find x using the equation x equals 3y. Substituting the value of y, we get x equals 3 asterisk to 0.33, which gives us x equals 7. Finally, we can find z using the equation y equals z/2, substituting the value of y. We get 2.33 equals z, 2, multiplying both sides by 2. We find z equals 4, 67, and there you have it, the solution to the puzzle. But remember, this is not just a math problem. It's part of a captivating story. Each step of the solution adds another layer to the narrative. As the sun discovers the numbers, the story reaches its climax. So the sun enters the number 6, 2 and 4 into the safe. The lock turns from red to green, confirming that he has indeed cracked the code. The safe door swings open, revealing a bright light. The sun, squinting, steps back. The light gushes out, illuminating the room with a golden glow. Inside the safe, there's an envelope addressed to him. On the envelope, the words "My Legacy" are inscribed. As the light fades, the sun reaches out, takes the envelope and opens it. The contents are not immediately revealed. Rather, the camera focuses on the envelope and the faint inscription on the back, hinting at a deeper meaning. The story ends here, leaving us to ponder the true nature of the inheritance. What did the son inherit? Was it just money or something more profound? How did his perspective change throughout the ordeal? And what did the message on the envelope say? These questions are left unanswered, allowing us to form our own interpretations. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed this journey through numbers, mystery, and legacy, don't forget to subscribe for more such thrilling adventures. And if you have a favorite character or moment, let us know in the comments. Until next time, keep those neurons firing and those brain cells active. Remember, every problem has a solution and every mystery has its unraveling. See you soon! Hey! Welcome to my channel! So this is a story I wrote called The Prisoner and the Candle. And as you can see, it's got that classic CapCut, minimalistic vibe. Now, let's get into the music plan. Okay, so we start off with the prisoner sitting alone in his dark cell. We don't see him yet. There's some faint noise of dripping water and a low hum. We don't want anything too distracting, just a general sense of unease. As the camera slowly pushes in towards our prisoner, we add in some deep, distant echoing to really play up the sense of space and loneliness. The voiceover begins and the music swells slightly. So we need something that matches this dark, cold feeling. This will be our main theme for The Prisoner and the Cell. So we'll use it a couple more times. As we cut to the next scene, which has a bunch of different items that the prisoner could use, we'll need something to tie these together. How about a light ambient wind? Yeah, that could work. It's subtle and mysterious. The voiceover tells us what each item is, and the wind will carry over between each shot. Nice. We'll also add in a ticking clock sound to increase the tension because the prisoner only has 30 seconds to choose. Okay, now that the visual effects are done for this section, I think it's time for some sound effects. We could start off with a gentle touch. Something like this would work well. Then after that, we could add in a muffled heartbeat to really drive home the suspense. The heartbeat should be slow and steady. Just like the ticking, we want it to layer with other sounds without being too distracting. That's a good start. For the reveal, we actually cut all of the sounds. No ticking, no heartbeat, no wind. Just a sudden, bright sound hit to emphasize the moment. After that, we fade back in the heartbeat to show the prisoner reacting. I love it. Okay, so at this point, we've established the main theme for the prisoner's situation and we've added some extra elements to build tension. But we need a way to resolve all of this. How about a warm soft pad sound? This could represent the return of light or maybe even hope. So for the next section, we see the prisoner thinking through each of his options. He imagines lighting the candle first, then the lantern, then the stove. For each option, the scene fades in and out around him. Effect-wise, we're going to use the same basic idea we had in the last scene, but we'll add in a little twist. Okay, so we've got the basic idea. We have the soft pad playing under the heartbeat and the ticking. We still have the ticking clock in the corner counting down. Then for each of the three options, we'll fade in a ghostly version of the previous scene. So the prisoner will be seeing these images in his head. That's how we'll differentiate them. And for the voiceover, we'll use the same tone we used in the last scene. It's calm and knowing. And we'll have it say, "The match because nothing else can burn until the fire begins here." Okay, so the prisoner has decided to light the match. For the reveal, we strike the match and the flame bursts into view. For this, we'll cut all of the audio, especially the heartbeat and the ticking. Then after a beat, we'll bring those sounds back along with the flame sound. The prisoner has made his choice. We'll end the video with the prisoner lighting each of the objects in sequence. As the cell fills with light, we'll add in some orchestral chords to really hammer home the feeling of hope and resolution. So there you go. That's the music plan for the prisoner and the candle. Welcome to my channel, a story told without words. Do you understand what happened here? Let me know in the comments. In the first scene, we open with a fancy dinner party. A band is playing in the corner. People are chatting, laughing, eating. We focus in on a couple of people at a table where a waiter is about to pour some drinks. As he pours the drinks, we pan away to show more of the party happening in the background. Glasses clink. People laugh. We'll use this soft, mysterious piano music throughout the story. And underneath it, there'll be this low-bass drone that will increase in tension as the story goes on. Meanwhile, at another table, a woman is having a conversation. She looks over to her date, who's slowly sipping his drink. She smiles and takes a big gulp. Her eyes widen in surprise as she feels something in her mouth. Maybe it's a bit too cold or maybe something else. But whatever it is, it makes her start drinking very quickly. The camera moves around the room to show us the man. He continues to sip his drink slowly. He doesn't seem to mind how cold it is. The woman takes another large gulp of her drink. The ice cubes glisten in both their glasses. In just a few seconds, the woman has drunk 3 full glasses of the same drink that the man has only sipped. Then she takes a 4th glass. The man remains calm, still sipping his drink very slowly. In contrast to the woman, who is now down to her last glass, we cut away to show the band playing. The music changes key. There's a sense of unease. Was there something wrong with the music just then? It's almost like the notes were out of place. Now, we cut back to the tables and the man reaches for another glass. His date has finished her drink. The waiter fills the man's glass and we fade to black. A minute passes and then we hear a loud crash. The music drops out completely. All we hear now is the sound of a heartbeat getting slower and slower. We cut to the next morning and the detective is examining the scene. He picks up the 2 glasses and examines them closely. Cut to a close-up of the melting ice cubes. The camera moves up slowly to reveal the detective kneeling next to the dead man. Now, the music has changed to a cool blue color grading. It's got this investigative feel to it. There's also this low ticking sound underneath the music. Outside the window, we can hear the sound of traffic and wind. Cut to the flashback. We hear the sound of ice cubes hitting the bottom of a glass. The woman takes her drink. The ice cubes glisten in the light. She brings the glass to her lips and gulps it down in one go. Another glass appears. She repeats the action, gulping down the second glass. We move to the man. He takes his drink and swirls it around slowly. He takes his time and doesn't drink. The flashback ends and we fade back to the scene. The detective examines the ice again. This time, we hear the sound of water dripping. He looks up and realizes something. The music swells dramatically, then suddenly the sound of shattering glass. We open on a close-up of an ice cube. It's dissolving slowly. Inside the ice cube, there's this cloudy liquid. It starts to ooze out when the ice melts. The detective stands behind, watching intently. He looks up as the ice cube releases a final burst of liquid. Dissolve to black. As the music fades out, we see the scene from the beginning. The party is in full swing. The camera pans across the room, revealing an empty, cold glass sitting on a table with a single ice cube melting slowly inside. Warm light fades in from the bottom of the screen. Gentle piano melody. Sometimes the danger isn't in what you see, but in what's waiting to be revealed.
So, how many did you solve? If you cracked them all, congratulations, you've got a mind built for greatness. But if a few left you stumped, don't worry. That just means your brain loves a good challenge. Want more puzzles like this? Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because the next round of riddles will be even tougher. Until next time, stay sharp, genius.